have some battlefield updates for you. Amhara forces are fighting back. It seems that they are trying to mobilize locals against Tigray Defense Force. Militia members, locals, they are forming small groups, and we have received reports of fighting in those areas which are under the control of Tigray Defense Force. I have some updates for you. Before that, two important statements. One is by UN Security Council, and the other statement was issued by Ethiopian government a few hours ago. UN Security Council issued a statement a few hours ago. It is calling for cessation of hostilities, for negotiations, for lasting ceasefire in Ethiopia. It's calling upon parties to start a dialogue. And unfettered humanitarian access has also been stressed by UN Security Council. Now, this UN Security Council statement shows that some countries have changed their position a little. Russia, China, India, which were backing Ethiopian government, which were saying that it was Ethiopian internal matter. Now, all members of UN Security Council, they are calling for a dialogue, they are calling for talks. And African Union has also been mentioned in this statement that Obasanjo should play a role and UN would back this role. So a slight change in UN position. Now all UN Security Council members, they have agreed, they are calling for dialogue in Ethiopia to resolve this conflict. Secondly, was Ethiopian government issued a statement a few hours ago in response to an alliance formed by 9 factions, Ethiopian factions in the US yesterday. I did a video on that as well. Ethiopian government has responded to this development. Ethiopian government says there is no equivalence between a democratically elected government and armed groups which are non-state actors which want to cause destruction. And Ethiopian government says it will keep on protecting its citizens, and international partners must also support Ethiopian government in its endeavors for democracy in Ethiopia. So, very much expected, Ethiopian government has rejected this alliance. I said yesterday that the alliance was basically a military alliance. Most of the groups are small groups with limited reach. In order to form a joint opposition in Ethiopia, TPLF will have to reach out to engage main Oromo parties and other parties in other regions of Ethiopia. Lastly, viewers, some important updates from battlefronts. Amhara militias are mobilizing locals, youth in those places which are under Tigray Defense Force. That is why fighting is being reported in several places, especially in Kobo. Viewers, we have discussed Kobo in previous videos. 2 days ago, I told you about rumors that Amhara forces had retaken Kobo. Now we can confirm, viewers, that fighting is happening in Kobo. Next question would be, how did fighters enter Kobo? Who is fighting in Kobo? Is it ENDF or Amhara militias? No ENDF is fighting in Kobo. In Kobo, there is no presence of Ethiopian National Defense Force in Kobo. Amhara militias, Fano militias, local fighters, they have been organized, and fighting is going on in Kobo town. Some sources say that these newly organized militias have taken some parts of Kobo. We can only confirm that Kobo is the place now where fighting is going on between militia members, locals, and Tigray Defense Force. This is not the first time that an attack on Kobo has been launched over the past few weeks. We have seen several attempts in the past as well, especially from the east, from Zobel mountain side, Afar fighters and ENDF fighters, ENDF soldiers, and Amhara militia members. They have been trying to enter Kobo from the east, from Zobel, and some large scale casualties have also been reported in Kobo, I think more than a month ago. So it's not the first time that Kobo is being targeted. Kobo is strategically very important because if Kobo is taken by Amhara forces, TDF spy lines will be cut off from Mekelle side. So that is why, once again, fighting is being reported in Kobo. TDF is trying to keep its control of Kobo. But this new strategy has been adopted by Amhara forces that now they are trying to they're trying to organize locals against Tigray Defense Force. That is why now it would be a fight between locals and Tigray Defense Force. We are hearing similar news from Bisitima and Haik as well, because it's difficult to say who is in control of Haik and Bisitima. But most sources are confirming that fighting is going on in and near these places. So strategy is very much clear. Supply lines are being targeted, like we saw on Debre Tabor front a few weeks ago. TDF was close to taking Debre Tabor. Suddenly it withdrew from Debre Tabor towards Gashina because its supplies in the back, they were cut off. Once again, Kobo is being targeted, Haik, Visitima, and Marsa will be targeted as well. Ethiopian government and Amhara regional government are becoming more hopeful now. They say they can recapture Dassi and Kambolcha by mobilizing locals, by making Fano militia organize locals, by conducting and continuing guerrilla attacks. And they are very hopeful now, though both Dassi, Kambolcha still under the control of Tigray Defense Force. But strategy is very much clear. Supply lines being targeted, and Amhara forces, Amhara militias, they are organizing locals in Dassi, Kambolcha, Kobo against Tigray Defense Force. Thank you for watching.